Hello everyone, I'm Captain Logan.
And I'm Vince.
And it's time once again
to recommend things.
Vince, what do you recommend today?
I recommend something a little rare for me.
Really?
A single issue.
A single issue.
Now I recommend this because it's a complete story. You don't have to read anything else other than this to get everything from it. It is Batman Annual number 14. Yep, I'm correct.
Also kind of old for you, 1991.
Well, 1990.
Okay.
But,
is it 90? Okay, sorry.
So
I have that too, and I thought I remembered it as being 91. Anyway.
Well, sometimes it's different on the inside than what it is on the cover.
Right.
But, anywho, this stuff is fantastic. I say fantastic all the time because I love that word, but I digress. Now, what this is pretty much the birth of Two-Face, not the birth of Harvey Dent, because that's a lot like, what you would see in some health class. But this is the birth of Two-Face. And the reason why I recommend this is because once you've read Long Halloween, read Long Halloween first. You'll read this and you'll know where Loeb got most of his Two-Face information. The Long Halloween is almost an extended version of this. You could almost call it the director's cut of Batman Annual number 14. And I would say that that director's cut is better. I think Long Halloween's fantastic. Good job, Loeb.
That one time.
That one time. And this stuff, I think they even get into the idea of Big Bad Harv in this.
Do they call it that?
I don't think they call it that.
Big Bad Harv was something they made up in the animated series.
Yeah, that's what they made up in the animated series. They did, but I think that some of this stuff plays with Harvey Dent's dark side.
That is, by the way, my favorite, one of my favorite Batman costume designs.
Mm-hmm. It's a terrific really cover, even. I love the cover.
I like this a lot.
Oh, the Batman costume design.
Mm-hmm.
Ew. You just showed them the nude man walking around in blood.
No, I didn't. I only showed them this side. See, they don't even know what you're talking about. I did not put that up on our channel.
And don't worry, guys. It's not like full frontal. It's just silhouetted backside. Anyway,
it's 1990. Okay, well,
yeah.
I don't think we're all that worried about it. I don't even think Playboy was showing full frontal yet.
It's not particularly dirty. It's interesting stuff. It's dark stuff, and that's what I find so fantastic about it, is that it's Batman at what you would expect it to be. Now, when I was reading comics in the 90s, I was reading things like the Beast 3-issue series that was awful. So that's what I tend to associate with the 90s. This stuff is really pretty hip, if I may use an archaic term to describe something that's kind of modern. Anyway, I like it. You guys should check it out. It's pretty good. Oh, yeah.
Today I'm going to recommend a DVD. I'm going to be recommending the special edition of Howard the Duck. Now, let me preface this by saying I'm not recommending Howard the Duck. I'm not recommending this film. Howard the Duck, for anyone who hasn't seen it, is quite awful. I'm actually recommending the special features. The whole reason I'm mentioning this is because this was not put out on the DVD until 2009, until just last year, which I was very surprised by. And watching the special features is quite the history lesson. If you've ever watched this film and wondered what were they thinking, you can watch this and find out what they were thinking. And it's kind of frightening. Especially how much the director and especially the director and the producer are taking up for the work they did, because it's very obvious how in denial they are, and it's kind of unfortunate. Some of the things they say make me kind of give them a little bit more credit than I used to. I mean, this is a really, really bad movie. You realize that it was the budget for this thing. So George Lucas did this movie. George Lucas was the put up the money for it, wanted to do it, was one of the producers on it, but he wasn't.
Everything he does is great anyway.
But he wasn't the big producer on it. The thing is, you watch this, and especially toward the end, with the god-awful special effects, you're thinking, well, they didn't spend any money on this. Actually, they just did it badly. They actually had a huge budget for this, which is the reason that a lot of people who worked in this never worked again, because the budget for this movie was $35 million, and it made $13 million domestically. And the thing is, they wanted to do it animated. And the studio needed live action film for the summer. So, and they knew they couldn't do anything animated that fast. So they said, okay, well, first, the director and producer said, no, there's no way we can do this. And George Lucas said, oh, we'll build a suit, it'll be fine, They spent $2 million on the Howard the Duck costume. And trying to make it work, not just the costume itself. It does not look like a $2 million costume. They spent that much trying to make it work. I think the worst animatronics ever. And anyway, look at the special features. It's very interesting how in denial these people are. But the little person who was in the Howard the Duck costume is really fun. He was an interesting guy and very down to earth fellow, and has a lot of good things to say about the work they did, and he's neat. The first 5 minutes of this film is the best thing that happens in the whole movie. You've seen this, right? You remember the first 5 minutes where he's on Duck World and you see like what Duck World looks like, and that's actually the coolest part. I mean, it's clever. They have some fun, a lot of fun like posters and things of like real life stuff that they turn duck and say it's funny.
Some really disturbing things.
No, there's some disturbing things. The problem is they didn't even want to make that in the first place. It's the best 5 minutes, and they didn't even want to make it. They were like, oh, well, we didn't even want to show you how Howard the Duck got to Earth. And then the studio was like, no, we kind of need that. The audience won't accept it without it, because the audience ended up accepting it anyway now. But they're like, no, we need the Duck World. We need to know where it came from. So then they came up with the whole Duck World thing. So like my favorite sequence in this, they almost didn't even make it, and that would have made it even worse than it was. Anyway, so I'm not saying buy this for by any stretch of the means unless you just have a big comic movie collection like I do. But I would say at least Netflix it. And maybe don't even watch the movie again if you've seen it, because why? But watch the special features. It's very interesting. Anyway, that's what I'm recommending. So once again, nobody lynch me. I'm not saying. I'm not recommending the film Howard the Duck. I'm recommending the special features on this DVD. Anyway, that's what we recommend today.
Something good and something
educational.
Yeah.
I'm Captain Logan.
And I'm Vince.
And we'll recommend something for you again next week.
Sure.